top somehow.
That
yes, my Straight Talk family, you hear that theme song, and you certainly ought to know by now it is time for Straight Talk and time for me to say greetings to the entire world, because we are on the World Wide Web, and we reach and touch you wherever you are in the world, my Straight Talk family. And we come to you from right here in beautiful St. Kitts and Nevis. And we must first of all say good night to St. Kitts and Nevis, good night to the entire Caribbean region. And as I said, we are all over the world, so I greet you in the diaspora, the Kittitian and Caribbean diaspora in particular, because some of you I know are in Africa, there's some of you in Europe, and there are some of you in Asia, and a whole lot of you are all over North America. So I am at liberty to say good night. I can say good morning, and in some cases I can say good afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And just to thank those who continue to spread the link, to share the link, I'm eternally grateful. Because of you, we do get our first-timers. And if we do have first-timers tonight, we normally have first-timers, I must inform you that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free, underline, free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, we do have a forum to express yourselves freely. Let us, my Straight Talk family, try to raise the level of national consciousness. Let us try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And as your host, I'll continue at all times to pledge from the onset to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness. As I always am reminded of the words of a favorite hymn of mine, an excerpt goes something like this: we are called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and right, standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things to light. Let's seek the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we all may know the blessing of the doing of God's will. And my Straight Talk family, I'll hasten to apprise you as well, to inform you that absolutely nothing is watered down on this program. We never try to make it more interesting, neither by omission or by exaggeration, because we are not about sensationalism, not at all. We are not about creating excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy, because we always try to lean on the facts. And it continues my bounden duty to present the unvarnished truth, is what I call it, the plain truth, nothing but the truth, especially when it comes to governance, transparency, integrity, not just in St. Kitts and Nevis, not just throughout the Caribbean, but wherever it raised its ugly head, when it's not conformed, when there's no conformation, I should say, we cry holy hell. And this program joins us together with people across our federation. We are joined with people in the diaspora all around the world. My Straight Talk family, we express our views freely, as we said. We promote diversity of views. But please, let us agree at times to disagree, but let us surely not become disagreeable. Let's in the process thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight as always, my Straight Talk family. And nonetheless, let's thank Him for helping us to understand. Oh, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. So let us therefore hope and pray for the day when we will all sing His praise together. Welcome again, my people, and thanks for those who share the link. As you bring first timers, like I said, please continue to do so. And I must remind you, first timers in particular, that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I maybe include your calls and your emails. If you're so minded, calling, the numbers are on your monitors. We also give you access via our email platform. The address as well is on your monitors, your screens. It's one word, Straight Talk Patches, that's one word, at gmail.com. And I can't ever forget some of you who have made donations to support our efforts here on Straight Talk. And words are not enough to express my gratitude. No matter how small your contribution was, it has helped to continue this important public service, I call it. It is a public service. Others who wish to donate can simply scan the code on your screen to access a payment form. It's a very, very simple process. It takes you about 1.5, 2 minutes maximum. Not so many minutes nonetheless. But thank you again for your support and for helping us to keep the dialogue alive. I might have been slightly tardy tonight, and for that I apologize before I forget that. But let me say a special welcome to my junior brigade. I saw Saraya yesterday, my grandson Nema. They are the ones who look up, or listen out rather, for their hail up. So let me hail Nema and Saraya. Young Dwayne as well, Tristan, Shama, Kevin, Handy of Nevis. Hope the Charlestown Secondary is going well. Young Rue over there in South Carolina. Jamal in Anguilla. Travis and Travan of Ponds Extension. And the young ones who meet me and say, Mr. Straight Talk. Yes, I'm here. We say hello as well to that special lady in St. Louis. There may be some obituaries, and I have not have the information accurately, so I'm sometimes very cautious to even say, spell out what I have. For those who have lost loved ones, we extend our condolences to you, and just to remind you that death is just a process. As we say, Jimmy Cliff once said, who feels it knows it. So I understand we can tell you anything, but you are the ones who feel the pain, and we can just extend condolences to you, my Straight Talk family. We normally have our observations in review, which is a very integral part of Straight Talk. Before we move into our thesis, and for our thesis, we include your calls, your emails, as mentioned earlier, to allow your full participation. Yes, you get an opportunity on this program, Straight Talk, to more or less have your say. At our observations review, we do highlight some reflection. And after our observations, we will begin our thesis for tonight, which I've titled 1 multiplied by 2 equals 1. Very interesting topic, I will forewarn you. So don't change your link, don't change the platform. Just spread the word that Straight Talk is live on social media, YouTube, Facebook, and Alexa. How could I forget Alexa? Those who have the Alexa app, just say, Alexa, play Massive Vibes Radio. Our first observation, my Straight Talk family, and I'm introducing as well a local, regional, international political roundup on our shows. I'll do that so we can keep abreast with what's happening around the world, because it's very important to know what's happening, especially the geopolitics around the world. You see what's happened there in the Oval Office with Zelensky and the Trump, who has the card. He says Zelensky had no cards. Well, all the cards are with Donald Trump. He is Trump. But I want to bring you abreast to what's happening around the Caribbean as well. And to let you know that the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister Keith Rowley, would be stepping down from office come March the 15th, 2025. And he informed Trinidad and Tobago and the world like this.
On the 15th of March, we will take completion of the construction of the Tobago Airport Terminal building. And as we do that, I leave you on the 16th of March as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. It has not been easy, but with the dedication that we have built the foundation with, we in Trinidad and Tobago can continue to look ahead at what we can do to make our country more efficient, to make our lives more comfortable, and to promote our country as a place to do business.
Yes, my Straight Talk family, Prime Minister Rowley also informed the world that the PNM caucus has already anointed, those are my words, anointed his successor, Minister Stuart Young, Senior Counsel, who is expected, I should say, to be sworn in as Trinidad's, I think, his 8th Prime Minister come March the 16th, my Straight Talk family.
We, as a caucus of the PNM in the House, we discussed at length, and we, in the end, came up with a situation where the entire PNM caucus is in support of Member of Parliament Stuart Young, while many other members of the cabinet could also have been considered. I have no doubt that Minister Young's experience, his dedication, and his commitment to the people of Trinidad and Tobago will ensure that during the period that he has the responsibility for being Prime Minister, he will continue to put the people of Trinidad and Tobago's interests first.
And yes, my Straight Dog family, some 179 or 180 miles, thereabout, away in Barbados, what I call the Caribbean Iron Lady, Mia Amor Motley, recently reshuffled her cabinet, which was derived from, the actions were derived from 2 ministerial resignations. And Motley informed Barbadians and the world accordingly.
Good afternoon, Barbadians. Earlier today, I received a letter from the Honourable Corey Lane asking to be relieved of his ministerial responsibilities so that he may spend more time with his family and to be able to give the government the opportunity to be able to ensure that it is in no way affected by anything related to charges. He has asked that he be noted for his complete innocence in these matters, and he is entitled to that. At the same time, I received a letter from the Honourable Marcia Cattle asking to be relieved of her duties with immediate effect. I have therefore accordingly informed Her Excellency President of Barbados, the Most Honourable Dame Sandra Mason, of changes that become effective tomorrow, February 26. I've asked the Honourable Kirk Humphrey to take responsibility as Minister of People Empowerment and Elderly Affairs for the task now of crime prevention. I've equally asked the Honourable Kay McConney to assume responsibility for the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Investment as full Minister. I've asked the Honourable Chad Blackman to assume responsibility for the Ministry of Educational Transformation, which will focus on pre-primary, primary and secondary education. I've asked the Honourable Sandra Husbands to assume responsibility for Ministry of Training and Tertiary Education.
And yes, my straight dog family, what a shake-up would say. Really, it's derived from the resignation of Minister Corey Lane, who we are told the police in Barbados questioned him. We don't have the full details, but Marsha Kettle also resigned on her own volition. But as I listened to the Caribbean Iron Lady, I call her, I thought about our own Prime Minister Drew, who is in such a precarious political position with his one-seat majority in Parliament. And I'm sure you will agree that is the reason why we have this disgusting political flirtation between what looks from the outside like two political prostitutes, one a prime minister and the other a premier and leader of his majesty's loyal opposition. But on a more positive note, my straight dog family, some 60 miles away to our west, our runaway sister Anguilla, yes, Anguilla decided to run away since 1967. But they swore in its first female premier, Mrs. Cora Richardson Hodge. And we must congratulate here at Straight Talk Premier Richardson Hodge and her Anguilla United Front, AUF, that won 8 of the 11 seats. There are 7 districts and 4 at large. And commiserations, of course, are extended to my friend Dr. Webster and his APM, my Street Dog family. And the first female premier was sworn in last week, Thursday, was it, or Friday? But the governor had this to say prior to that actual, at the start of the ceremony, I should say.
An election in a democratic country is a truly moving occasion. None so more than last night to see people orderly, calmly casting their votes. To see the transition of power today in an orderly fashion is a very special thing, and I hope it's something that every Anguillian is truly proud of.
Commending the elections in Anguilla last week. But Cora Richardson Hodge took the oath of allegiance and the oath of office thereafter.
I, Cora Mae Richardson Hodge, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God. I, Cora Mae Richardson Hodge, do swear that I will well and truly serve His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God. Thank you.
of Anguilla. Congratulations.
First female premier of Anguilla sworn in. And what was very interesting after that ceremony is Premier Richardson Hodge also pledged an oath of allegiance to the people of Anguilla. I don't recall I've ever seen this before my Straight Dog family.
Today is a momentous occasion for us here in Anguilla. You would have just heard all of the members who have been elected on behalf of the Anguilla United Front gave the oath of allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And today, this afternoon, we will also give an oath of allegiance to the people of Anguilla. I, Cora Richardson Hodge, Premier of Anguilla, together with the ministers of my cabinet, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the people of Anguilla, and will well and faithfully serve them in office which I hold. I undertake with my ministers at my side to do the work that improves the standard of living for our people, embraces and respects our island's history and culture, strengthens our democratic frameworks so as to allow our people's voices to be heard, and to continue building an Anguilla of which at home and in the diaspora can feel proud. We, the members of the Anguilla United Front, commit to serving with integrity, honesty, and with the highest ethical standards. So help me God.
Yes, my Straight Dog family, an oath of allegiance to the people. Promise to serve with integrity, honesty, and the highest level of integrity. My second observation, my Straight Dog family, I wanted quickly to clarify some things that have been said, or even that I said, as it relates to the construction of the desalination plant on the Ponds Industrial Site in East Bastille. And I'm not afraid to say, because many in the Bird Rock area in particular, and East Bastille generally, are concerned. They're concerned, my Straight Dog family, and rightly so. And I am concerned, and I wondering why they have located that desalination plant in that particular area. It's like, as someone said to me, it's like throwing water in a dirty bucket, or taking water out of a dirty bucket. And I never once said, I must state from the onset, that we should not ever venture into the desalination process. I promoted that for a long time, very long time, my Straight Dog family, because of climate change and other issues. We've been having water scarcity. Here in St. Kitts, some people don't have water for, at times, 18 and 19 hours in the day. Some people just have water from 5 in the morning to 9 in the morning. Yes, right here in St. Kitts, my Straight Dog family. And yes, I believe, because I promoted as well, that first desalination plant, although the state tried to claim it, that's desalination plant that's in Nevis. I signed the document for the UAE, the original document, and that one in Canada. But it's about the secrecy behind its construction, the cost, the source of funds, and more importantly, the expected quality of the water that will be produced. And they won't take it away. I'm not apologizing for what Congress Maynard and the slow student will do. Because till this day, for example, in our Kean, people are crying out for the quality of water that they are getting. But here in Borderock, my Sweet Dog family, ask yourselves, it's about the location. Why have it nestled between two bulk installations? Why not take it around by the bay? Is the bay just around the corner there from the Port Authority, that cargo pier? It could be easily located there, or could have been easily located there, or around there in Potato Bay. There's so many other locations that plan could have been located. But the stubborn, arrogant, so-called engineer don't care about us. He does what he feels. It's not about us. It's about them. But my Sweet Dog family, we will hear much more about this desalination plant that they are helter-skelter and very expeditiously constructing, my Sweet Dog family. And I'm going to stop my observations right here, because I see my time has just hustled on. And I move right into my thesis, which I said I've titled 1 multiplied by 2 equals 1. And my Sweet Dog family, it is said that mathematics is a science. But to many of us who have had the encounter with algebra and geometry, it is more than that to us. It still today is a difficult and complex subject. It is a statement many pundits have convinced us, beg your pardon, over the centuries, that the values of two mathematical expressions are equal. But is that really true? Is a question I continue to ask myself. Thus you understand the reason why I have always and will hasten to confess that mathematics is my strongest weak point. The mathematician Benjamin Peirce called mathematics the science that draws necessary conclusions. Famous physicist Albert Einstein, on the other hand, stated that as far as the laws of mathematics refer to reality, they are not certain, and as far as they are certain, they do not refer to reality. So I say again, 1 multiplied by 2 equal 1. Politics is a science as well. But sometimes the numbers just may not seem to add up. Because while political science employs scientific methods, politics itself often involves subjective elements such as values, emotions, and human motivations. And when we listen to Mark Brantley, for example, we ask ourselves, what motivates the snake Mark Brantley, and or what influences his snake behavior? My Sweet Dog family, his blatant dishonesty baffles me most. For example, when he talks about the funds received from friendly governments, he said this.
Since Prime Minister Drew has been there, I have said so publicly, that Prime Minister Drew has offered to Nevis 25% of funds that he has received from certain friendly governments to assist in development. Those funds total $7.5 million US. Nevis has over the past years under Prime Minister Drew been collecting 25% of that. Almost $2 million US. It is what we used to develop Pinis. It is what we use to develop our for culture, the cultural complex and the cultural village. And we had a little bit left over that we put into the Bath Street.
And my Straight Dog family, Mark is so disingenuous about the Taiwanese funds, or as he puts it, funds received from a friendly government or friendly governments, and what he used to develop pennies. And my Straight Dog family, the only friendly government we get grant funding from is from the Republic of China and Taiwan. And we asked what he used to develop pennies. And he told us this, my Straight Dog family.
What I found was interesting is that Prime Minister Drew, who I don't have no agreement signed with, called me when he got into government and he said, Premier, you know he talk, Premier, you know anything about this money? And I said, no, Prime Minister, I never hear nothing about it. He said, how you mean? Said, this money has been coming into the office of the Prime Minister for the last how many years? You don't know anything about it? I said, no, I never heard about that yet. He said, well, from now on, Nevis will get 25%. That's a Prime Minister who I don't have no agreement with. That's a Prime Minister who I'm not in cabinet with. The one that I had an agreement with and the one that I was in cabinet with was collecting that money every single year, and the people of Nevis knew nothing about it.
My Straight Dog family, the truth is, the Republic of China and Taiwan grants the federal government of St. Kitts and Nevis, underline the federal government of St. Kitts and Nevis, budgetary support to the tune of $3 million per year. And you ask me, totally inadequate. And I say so in the context of the strength of the Taiwanese economy. But the Prime Minister, because of his ignorance, he scored what we can call an own goal in the football sense. He scored an own goal by calling Mark Brantley and trying to be nice, because he himself has a slender one-seat majority. But the proper thing to have done was for July, as Minister of Finance, to seek an explanation from the Financial Secretary, Hilary Hazel. And I am sure that Mrs. Hazel would have advised him. So what is at Penny's, we ask? It's the Malcolm Gishard Recreation Park, my Straight Dog family. And since 2018, and even before that, the ambassadors, President Pass, always had this relationship with the people of Nevis. They went there, they still go there. And in fact, you can glean from your monitors that since in 2018, my Straight Dog family, the Premier Brantley met on his own. He didn't report to the cabinet what was discussed, but in fact, as the caption here, Premier Brantley meets with the Republic of China-Taiwan delegation to advance discussions on the national park. And that's dated from his own release, NIA release, dated September the 4th, 2018, my Street Dog family. So what the hell he doesn't know about budgetary support from friendly governments? A delegation from the Republic of China of Taiwan, led by resident ambassador to St. Kitts and Nevis, Excellency Tom Lee, met with the NIA, led by Premier Mark Bradley. That's what the release says, his own release, my Street Dog family. And I forgot to download that video when the President Tsai went to Nevis and turned the sod, or turned the soil, some people say, at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park, for which ground was broken in 2018 during the visit, as I said, of the Taiwanese President Tsai. But Mark Brantley, my Straight Dog family, always had private, unfettered access to the Taiwanese ambassadors, the current and past. And he never reported to the federal cabinet, but like someone said, Mumu July, playing politics, scored an own goal. The snake, Mark Brantley, we know, is transactional. And he speaks about the importance, my Straight Dog family, he speaks about the importance of context and politics. He told us this recently.
That the context and the politics is important. So what I have decided to do, and what I've been doing with the Prime Minister Joe, is seeking to develop a relationship between St. Kitts and Nevis, between Premier and Prime Minister, and to say there are certain things that need to happen, and that the people of Nevis need to benefit. Yes, from CBI, yes, from geothermal exploration, yes, from ensuring that Nevis gets the taxes that are generated by economic activity in Nevis. And I have pressed on those.
And my Straight Dog family, Mark Brantley, as leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition and Premier of Nevis, has entered an unique collision with the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis. And for Mark, surely 1 multiplied by 2 equals 1. He has taken Nevis, my Straight Dog family, to the brink of bankruptcy, with the public debt in Nevis heading hard, we are told, to $1 billion. But he has been providing some creative accounting since he told the country this 2 years ago. He said this to the country. We seem to have some difficulty, my Straight Dog family, with that soundbite. But he told the country in no uncertain terms, my Straight Dog family, that the country, or the public debt rather, in Nevis was well over $500 million, and that was 2 years ago. My Straight Dog family, 2 long years ago. The snake Mark Brantley has therefore turned to July for everything. He started with geothermal, my Straight Dog family. He started with geothermal, and he said this about geothermal, my Straight Dog family. He said this about geothermal, my Straight Dog family. I'm trying to find that soundbite. He said this about geothermal.
Geothermal update, I have no further update since the last time, except to say that because of the Saudi Development Fund, we have secured the gap funding that we were seeking for the drilling phase. which means that we now have $17 million from the CDB, $20 million from the Saudis, and which allows us to move forward. The bids, as I understand it, should be opened the end of this month. We went to the second round of bidding on the drilling, and I'm hopeful that this time around we'll have had a successful bid and we'll be able to move forward very shortly.
And my Straight Talk family, remember, for over 20 years, all that has come with this development is a plethora of legal or legacy issues. Meantime, in Dominica, they are quietly progressing according to Prime Minister Roosevelt's carrot. And they will be completed, their project will be completed according to this Facebook post from Skerrit. They will be completed by December 2025. And isn't that very interesting news coming from Dominica? No lot of song and dance. No lot of baloney. No lot of lies. But Skerrit reports that come December, they will have geothermal energy in Dominica, my Straight Dog family, in the Roseau Valley, at a place called Laudat. I think it is called my Straight Dog family. But meantime, here in St. Kitts and Nevis, Brantley has reported that the funding gap of some US $20 million plus the CDB grant fund, or grant loan funds, I think it's called, for this phase of drilling has been received. But lest we forget, according to the IMF estimate, another 120 million US dollars, or 320 million EC dollars, is still required to make geothermal production a reality in Nevis. Meanwhile, no report has concluded that this geothermal project in Nevis is a bankable project. No report has concluded it's a bankable project. And that, my Straight Dog family, is a very unfortunate assessment, and we just keep our hope alive. July has made some strange announcements as usual about the final airport funding, geothermal, and revenue sharing as well, my Straight Dog family. Joe has told us all about that. Brantley the Sick has not seen the revenue sharing information.
So, the issue of fair share, where we know the Prime Minister of the day has said that he has asked for assistance from the international community. He has said he has done that because, unlike Team Unity and the Charleston Accord, where we only looked at CBI, he's saying he wants to look at CBI and other taxes and non-tax revenue. So he wants a more comprehensive analysis. The last time I met with him, which was about 3 weeks ago, he indicated to me that the report had been obtained, and I think he has since said so publicly, and that he was asking his Ministry of Finance and his technocrats to do an analysis on that report. I have not seen the report as yet. I have said to him that I need a copy of the report so that my team in Nevis can also do their analysis to determine what it is that this World Bank report says. But as I stand here today, I have not yet seen a copy of the report that the Prime Minister, that is Prime Minister Joe, says is available.
Well, I believe, I support Brantley, that he should see a copy of the report. Why the hell Joe is hiding that report so long? One wonders. But not only Brantley should see a copy of that report. A copy of that report should be published. Without edit, it should be published. My Straight Dog family. So I agree with the snake. But I want to spend a little time, my Straight Dog family, on the Vance Amory International or Vance Amory Airport. I'm not certain if it's an international airport here on Straight Talk. Here on Straight Talk, we advance the view that it will be more economical to bridge the islands of St. Kitts Nevis rather than spending $80 million on an international airport just to accommodate the billionaire friend of Brantley, Patrick Drahi. And I say so respectfully. And I know some people get up in arms when I speak the truth. But that's my opinion. Straight Talk has presented the option of bridging the islands of St. Kitts and Nevis as an alternative to investing in an $80 million airport expansion project derived from the request of billionaire Patrick Drahi, who wants to land his jet at Newcastle and drive to his home in Nevis. Straight Talk earlier advanced a breakdown of the key considerations, my Straight Talk family. Constructing an airport is a large-scale project. And this includes the cost of land acquisition, extending the runway by some 1,500 feet, rehabilitating the terminal, the air traffic control systems, and other necessary infrastructure like utilities, security systems, and parking. And that's going to cost $80 million, my Straight Talk family. The cost of bridging the islands is about the same. Building a bridge between St. Kitts and Nevis would no doubt be a significant engineering challenge. Let's be frank. But the gap between the islands is just about 3 kilometers. At its narrowest, 1.9 miles, 2 miles at its narrowest point. But any bridge construction requires, of course, careful planning and engineering expertise. What about the airport needs, the traffic and demand? If the goal is to improve air traffic and connectivity, an airport could cater to both international flights and local travelers, which might be crucial for tourism or commerce. But St. Kitts already has an airport. So in terms of air traffic, the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport is already the international gateway to the Federation. That cannot be disputed. But with respect to every Nevisian who is listening to me, I mean no offense, but please, let us put our insularity aside and accept that the volume of travelers and needs will not derive, I should say, the amount of revenue that would make a new airport costing $80 million at Newcastle self-sufficient. It won't. Ironically, I must add, the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport is not self-sufficient. After going on to 30 or more years since its rehabilitation. Since its rehabilitation in 1998, some 27 years ago. Am I correct? 27 years ago, my Straight Talk family. The RLB does not generate enough revenue to take care of its day-to-day operations. And it was predicted back in 1998 that the throughput at the RLB will be over 200,000 passengers, or the stayovers, I should say. But my Straight Talk family, believe it or not, the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw Airport is heavily subsidized by the cargo port, by this Casper cargo port, and no one can dispute that. My Street Dog family, I have heard the argument that Antigua and Barbuda has an international airport and one is being built in Barbuda. Point taken. But St. Kitts and Nevis is not Antigua or Barbuda. Think about it. As I said, St. Kitts and Nevis is, or St. Kitts, I should say, is 1.9 miles at the closest point from Nevis. That's a statement of fact. Whereas, my Street Dog family, in Antigua and Barbuda, or Antigua is 40 miles, I should say, or thereabout, from Barbuda, or vice versa, however you want to look at it. The information is there, my Street Dog family. 61.5 kilometers, if my maths are good enough. I think that's just about 40 or more miles, my Street Dog family. While St. Kitts and Nevis, a distance of 4.1 kilometers, or just under 2 miles. And I must say, my Street Dog family, a bridge would provide a reliable means of transportation between the islands, benefiting local travel and the hundreds of thousands of cruise ship passengers who visit St. Kitts as well. This is when tourism officials can sell 1 multiplied by 2 is 1. Yes, my Street Dog family. The Icon of the Seas, for example, with over 6,000 passengers on board, we can include tours to Nevis by road or by taxi. The economic benefits that can be brought to Nevis, along with the 37 or 38,000 persons who live on St. Kitts. Mark won't have to sell his integrity to be prostituting the NIA with Dr. Joe. My Street Dog family, with the existing international airport in St. Kitts, already meeting the needs for large aircraft, or all aircraft, a bridge would directly serve the people and businesses of both islands without the need for duplicating air travel infrastructure. An airport on Nevis might be justified if there was a pressing need for additional air access, or if there were specific benefits in terms of air traffic. But considering St. Kitts' airport can already handle all planes, large and small, the bridge, I submit, is more cost-effective, is a long-term solution to improving connectivity between both islands, between the islands of St. Kitts and our Nevis. But truth be told, my Street Dog family, the beneficiaries, beg your pardon, in the airport development will be Mark Brantley and his billionaire friend Patrick Drahi, and not the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, the main beneficiaries. If we are really serious about developing a sustainable island state, I should say, then we must think beyond these two beneficiaries. My Street Dog family, I deliberately avoided politics. My Street Dog family, I deliberately avoided politics. And I must also say to you, let me talk about Antigua. In Antigua and Barbuda, examine this. They say over arrivals in Antigua are over 300,000 passengers, my Street Dog family. The Ministry of Tourism, you can glean from your screens, as it states quite clearly, that the Ministry of Tourism and the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority celebrated 2024 as an exceptional year for tourism in Antigua and Barbuda during a year in review press conference highlighting key achievements during the year. According to the latest data presented at the press conference, Antigua and Barbuda welcomed over 330,281 stay-over visitors for the year and over 823,955 cruise passengers, surpassing previous records and the 2019 benchmark. I believe if all things go well, in terms of cruise, we would be up there with Antigua and Barbuda, but certainly, Master will have to do something about stay-over arrivals in St. Kitts, which are hovering just under, I believe, I stand to be corrected, under 100,000 stay-over visitors. But like I said, I deliberately avoided politics and placed greater emphasis on economics tonight. But think about it and reflect on the botched political union of 63 years ago in 1962, when Prime Minister, historian and political scientist Dr. Eric Williams introduced his own mathematical theory or equation: 10 minus 1 equals 0. Or as he actually put it, I believe, 1 from 10 equals naught. The proof, my Straight Talk family, in the failure of the political union called back then the West Indies Federation was in its failure. The West Indies Federation from 1958 to 1962 was a political union established between 10 Caribbean territories: Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, Grenada, Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, and British Guyana, now called Guyana. The Federation aimed to foster economic cooperation, political stability, and unity among the islands in the face of colonial rule and the growing push for independence. However, the lofty goals of the West Indies Federation were ultimately unrealized, and it collapsed in 1962, largely due to internal divisions, economic disparities, and a lack of political will. Eric Williams, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, in commenting on the Federation's collapse, declared, as I said before, 10 minus 1 equals 0. This equation symbolized the disintegration of the Union once Jamaica, one of the key member states, opted to withdraw from the Federation. Williams's statement captured the idea that removing a significant member from a federation could destabilize the entire political project, leading to its collapse. And that, my Straight Talk family, was 63, beg your pardon, years ago. Like I said. But since 1983, now 42 years later, in 2025, a political union still exists between St. Kitts and Nevis. And in the context of Williams's mathematical equation, I submit, 1 multiplied by 2 equals 1. The proof is, however, borne out physically in our federation of 2 islands and 1 beautiful paradise. So you see, my Straight Talk family, mathematics, though it is my strongest weak point, yet I have come to learn that it is often regarded as the bedrock of science that provides clarity uncertainty in a world that is otherwise filled with ambiguity. Its principles of equality, operations, and proof offer a framework for understanding the universe and making sense of complex phenomena or direct experience. When applied to the realm of politics, these same mathematical concepts seem to break down or take on unexpected meanings. Eric Williams, PM of Trinidad and Tobago, as I said, famously stated 10 minus 1 equals 0 in reference to that dissolution in 1962. However, my thesis tonight suggests that the union between the islands of St. Kitts and Nevis, which was formed in 1983, offers an intriguing alternative, a political equation where 1 multiplied by 2 equals 1. And that's my story tonight, my Straight Dog family, and I am not going to change it. I will open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. And when I do so, I anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. And let us strive to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in saying and or doing those things, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With that said, I go to the lines at 9 o'clock hour and greet our first caller. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Good night. Yes, thank you, Brother Patches. Good night to all the listeners. Good night to you, Brother Patches.
Good night, sir.
And as I may ask, how are you doing? How was your day?
I am peaceful. My day was a little busy, but I made it through. Mm-hmm. What about you?
I am humble and tranquil also. Patches, I will tell you straight off the bat. I agree to that bridge between St. Kitts and Nevis. And as you already explained, probably a lot of people might fail to understand the reason for that and the benefit of that introduction. Now, I didn't get the schematic of the depth of the distance at midpoint between St. Kitts and Nevis. I don't know if there was any observation or marine survey as such, but yes, the distance between St. Kitts and Nevis from the two nearest points is about 3 miles. Correct?
Yeah, it's about 2 miles, 1.9 miles.
Any observation on the marine?
I vaguely recall, don't quote me, I'll get it finalized before the program ends, but I think it was just around 30 or 32 feet. I stand to be corrected, don't quote me, please. I'll get that information though, but that's a good question. It's a good question.
Well, anything is possible, and I see the economical benefit when it's done. Yes, it shall be done. I am 100% behind you because I've been observing you a long time. Would you like that to happen?
What, observing me?
I'm observing your quest for a bridge between St. Kitts and Nevis.
If I like it to happen, certainly.
Okay, that's the question. That's the answer. I need an answer. Yes or no? Well, it shall be.
We've been talking about that too long now.
I don't.
Mark Brantley supported it, you know. Mark Brantley brought that to the cabinet. he can't deny that.
That was a good thing. But it didn't happen yet. Well, it is yet to come. Because it is possible. Now, I shall say that it will benefit the Twin Island state. And what is the estimated, anticipated budget, would you say, for such?
Well, I can't. They're supposed to do some studies first before you get there. So I won't venture.
Would it cost,
I've heard some
would it
figures.
cost over?
I've heard some numbers banded around, but of course you got to do the feasibility studies first. That's the prudent thing. No, I'm not going to speculate. We have to do the feasibility studies, and I've heard some numbers banded about $100 million and $80 million. But like I said, I think the prudent thing to do is to undertake the feasibility studies, which proposal came to the cabinet before. The then NIA leader said he wanted his cabinet to review it. It was never reviewed. That was Vance Amory. And I was in cabinet when Brantley became premier, and he raised the issue about that bridge. Brantley can tell me if I'm right or wrong. But I have somebody on the line. Has somebody on the line, so make your final points, can you?
From my point, if my quest were to fulfill in such a thing, I will give you that project.
Me?
But I really, I have something else to come with, but I chime in to tell you I second that motion.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. We go back to the line and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live.
Good night. Good night, Mr. Liburd.
Good night, my dear.
The quote for this evening. First rule in government spending. Why build one when you can have two at twice the price? I repeat, first rule in government spending. Why build one when you can have two at twice the price? Have a great evening.
Why build one when you have two at twice the price?
Yes.
Very interesting. You can build two at twice the price. Wow. Very interesting perspective. Thanks a lot for your quotation, my dear. First rule in government spending. Why build one when you can have two at twice the price? Very interesting perspective. I wonder if it's what's he saying here now? What's his name again? Elon Musk, is this? That's his title. He talk about Doge, maybe perhaps needs something like that. Caller, thank you for holding your live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Straight Talk.
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. How are you, my brother?
I am much better now about you, my brother. I'm peaceful. Yourself?
What can I say, man? So far, so good and peaceful also. Just having a lot of pain in my knee, but I went to see a doctor last week and I have to go back again this week to see another one, but it's good. God is good. You just got to do what you got to do. Mr. Strater, I want to see that I don't think it will ever build that bridge, but it will be one of the best thing for St. Kitts and Nevis to do. Sure. Because where I live here and where my job is, there's a creek run across there. And if they had only built one crossing to go to that place, you know how that road would have backed up? Mr. Strater, they built 4 sections of road to cross that creek. 4, so you don't have to cross it just by one. If you ever hear about the Roosevelt Boulevard, that's the biggest one. But upper side there is 4 crossing I can cross just to get to my job. If I don't do that, I can't get to my job now because I have to go cross a little river creek. So you see what they did? They said, look, we have to do this thing now. We have to make one crossing to cross here. Because if we only put one People gonna have to live from all the way uptown just to come down the bottom to go across this thing. So they make 4. And if 4 of them is right in my area. I looked at it all the time and I said, but how did these people plan this thing so nice? So that's what's going to happen to St. Kitts and Nevis that they Grantley, I don't think he wanted it. Anyway, that's enough for politics and that bridge. Let me just say good night to my wonderful people. Good night, my lovely niece there in St. Louis. How are you doing on Texas Screen? How are you? My brother Alvin and his son George there in Bellevue. And my friend Lyda and my wonderful niece there in Abbey, Johnny and Tikoya and Glenaya. And Ellis there in Atlas. Brother Culture, how are you doing, man? Mr. Stratak, I just want you to continue to do what you are doing. See, you're doing a wonderful job. You see that issue you bring out there? And come to Marsha, I'm supporting. I think you can do a better job if you go back inside there and think about going back to government. Understand? I would love to see you do that. I have some homework for you. I want to know really what happened to those people that they bring into St. Kitts, that they find that the government never says nothing, nobody says nothing, we don't know what happened. I want you to do some homework on that for me. I had some other homework to give you to do, but I completely forget.
Homework on what you said? I missed you just now.
The people that they find in St. Kitts.
Oh, you know, that's my bad. Yeah.
So I want you to find out what really happened. And I was to call you last Thursday because it was another important one. And for some reason, I never, I get you on the phone. I don't remember it.
I'm guilty.
But I want you to do what you have to do. So get that done, because once I hear about it, I said, no. This year, I mean, not even the commissioner, not the prime, nobody says nothing.
Yeah, that's my bad.
I never seen nothing like this. You mean these people? So what they do with them? They throw them away, they put them in a garbage bag and send them back. What they do? We don't know. So try to see what you can figure out there for me and Marsha.
I will, my brother. I will. I have some information, but I wanted to verify it. Be honest with you.
Well, like I said, Mr. Stratak, everybody love you and they depend on you to bring in this information. So just do what you got to do. But if they think it's a Nevis make that build that bridge, see, the economic thing that thing will boom. Because, I can live from St. Kitts at 12 o'clock and go Nevis and come back.
Oh, yeah.
That's it thing. You can, anytime you want to go Nevis, you go. And all they have to do is to charge you 5 cents to go across that bridge. You know how much 5 cents that will be? Yeah. You know how much thousands of dollars they keep from the New York bridge there when they used to charge money to them. Now everybody deal with card because they say, no, make no sense. So people are going to one time me listen to the news and they take $10,000 from that thing. We say, what those people was doing with that money? But that just goes to show you how profitable those bridges are. That they picking up heavy fine for them. And they raise them again this year. Every new year they raising up and bridge crossing. So St. Kitts and Nevis better get ready. Mr. Stratak, I think I run you bill up long enough. So be good, take care of yourself. See you when I see you. See you soon. Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. Yes, my brother from another mother. I go straight back to the lines and thank this caller for holding caller. You're live.
Good night.
Good night, my dear brother. That's the Bible man.
And how are you, my brother?
I am peaceful. I'm peaceful, brother.
What? Well, I am peaceful here too. But it's Psalm 75. And I am going to Psalm 75, and I am going to first Samuel chapter 15 too. Listen here, I did.
Unto thee we give thanks, is that? No, I got it.
No,
No, I got it wrong.
Here it is here.
Yes, sir.
This 6 verse. Promotion
cometh neither from the
promotion shall cometh
neither from the east,
not from the east, nor the west, nor from the south. Here we say here about it. God is the judge of God is the judge. God is the judge.
the absolute judge.
Down one
Sets up another.
and set up another. That is
Yep.
in 1 Samuel chapter 15. God take up Saul when he was a little boy, and he put him to be king over Israel. And God tells Samuel, kill all the Amalekites and don't let none, not spare none, kill all. But Saul went his way and killed all way he want and left the king, that is, and left the big man because of my friend. When God see that day, he called out to Samuel and tell Samuel, Saul has gone his own way. Now, that is, the situation is my passage. When God set you up and give you a kingdom, you have to do what God said. And so God tells Samuel, I reject Saul to be king over Israel. Well, I'm telling you, that's what happened. And so, Mr. Patil, God is the ruler of the whole world and the whole entire St. Kitts and Nevis. And so God is going to get a deliverer for St. Kitts and Nevis. And he said in Daniel, when you put one of the king Nebuchadnezzar,
Okay.
and they do what they like. And when he went to sleep, the man in Egypt up, he said the handwriting is on the wall.
Okay, my brother.
So I'm not joking about it.
Okay.
So the way he say here, he set up one and he pulled down.
The other, yes.
So my encouragement to somebody tonight, when God give you a job, do it with all your might. Because God do not play. But there was a deliverer in St. Kitts Nevis going pop up soon. And I'm saying tonight, be strong, parties. Be courageous, parties. And they tell you, and they've been telling you, get back in the bull ring. God have you at a time like this. You is God have you. You see how God has strengthened you. You see how God has given you grace. You see how God has given you courage. No devil in hell could stand. And this is the last word I'm going to tell you, Mr. Patty. No weapon that form against you, Patty. And every tongue that rise up against you in judgment second, you hear. But now you have to listen yourself now. But you're being inspired by God. God have you to bring the message to the people I said good night. Have a wonderful night.
Have a wonderful night, Mr. Bibleman. Always welcome what I call your biblical interventions. Miss Deborah Wilson reads this email. Please don't be misled by the foolish utterances of some devious and bad-minded people who continue to say that Patches did nothing for his Newtown constituency during his 5-year term. Well, Deborah, let me tell you that Patches did not only more than enough for his Newtown constituency, but an inordinate amount of good things for the whole island. Example, Old Road Bay, the island main road, comfortable seating and shelter at the ferry terminal, the bus terminals for the western and eastern commuters, traffic lights, a brand new second cruise pier, and a myriad of other good things which he did for the entire country. But let me pause here for a while, Deborah, to denounce and debunk Dr. July's misconception that the Monkey Hill and St. Peter's main road were deliberately left out of the mix. That is a complete lie. Dr. July, you keep peddling this falsehood. It was part of Patch's plan and unity to fix the road in Monkey Hill. Now let us examine the number one constituency and what he did for them. He gave up half of his monthly salary to them. That alone is demonstrable of his love and duty of care for his Newtown people. No other politician or minister of government except Michael O. Powell has ever done that. Additionally, Deborah, he assisted many with doctors' prescriptions, their house rent, water and electricity bills, and gave money to many who claim they are broke. They put in their pockets. Sorry about that, my straight dog family, that cough. But yes, also Deborah continues this email. He assisted many with his doctor's prescriptions, the house rent, water and electricity bills, and gave money to many who claim they are broken, but to put rather in their pockets. It left one to wonder how a man so liberal, generous, altruistic, and caring for people can lose an election to a greedy, cheap, I've lost the screen, as greedy, cheap, selfish, and avaricious slow student. Oh, what a shame, reads this email. Thanks. That emailer has been following me perhaps closely. Thanks for the commendation. Last week, at Premier Brantley's press conference, he revealed in a somberly tone that 2 weeks ago, the Prime Minister told him he had received the fair share report from the World Bank, and up to this day he has not seen or been given a copy of it. Brantley tried to put the best in front, but it was quite obvious that he felt humiliated, embarrassed, and ashamed. There were several comments. Some said, let Mark take that. If he think Joe is Timothy, he lies. Others said Joe realized that the fellow is a snake, and he do not trust him to share a copy at this time with him. But in Joe's time, he may just get a cursory look at it. What a damn fool this social boasting idiot is for the Prime Minister to be treating him like a shameless dog, reads this other email. I'm taking some emails, my straight dog family, if you bear with me, because they tend to build upon me. This one says, good evening, Patches. Only in St. Kitts can you believe that the Social Security Board has given the NIA a whole lot of medical equipment when the NIA owes the Social Security over $1 million from funds they have taken out of salaries in Nevis, have not matched it and pay it into the board. You know what they did to the owner of the St. Kitts Nevis Observer? And Mark the Snake at the time was his lawyer. Tell Dr. July integrity is doing the lawful and right thing at all times, not just when people are watching. He has no shame talking about when he left work in Texas at 2:30 in the morning. No one around, and he went through the red light and later got a ticket for $250. No integrity, Dr. July. Patches, a big storm is on the horizon. Wussy and Powell getting paid in US dollars, and people in the force do not like it. So watch out for it. Stay true, and be lucky. Reads this other email. And at 9:31, I'm trying to get dispose of my emails, my Straight Talk family. When the premier is on a begging spree and getting some of what he wants, boy, he has sweet mouth. He said Harris was the best prime minister and no other prime minister ever treated Nevis so well. He named some of the good things Harris ensured Nevis must get, like ambassadors, her and here and there in diverse countries. Divisions were placed in on various government boards. The premier was so overjoyed that he declared never again would Nevis be left out in the cold to suffer under the hands of a Labour government. Thank God for Harris, he said. Harris was paying for nearly everything for him in Nevis, including double salary, a monthly budgetary support, etc. Whatever was paid in St. Kitts, Harris made sure Nevis got theirs. In addition to all of that, Harris gave him $5 million in cash, but he keeps coming back for more and more, which obviously would be asked, well, what are you doing with all that money you are getting for Nevis? I had no proper answer to give Harris. So Harris had to tell him quite frankly, Mark, you are a bad spender. You cannot spend money. Because Harris tell him the truth, the man vexed with Harris. So Drew, following on the heels of Harris, has issued a warning to him. Every cent given to you from now on will have to be accounted for. When I give you a fair share, no sweet mountain will work with Drew. Mark Boy reads this email. And yes, my Straight Talk family, the lines are now open. They're open, as a matter of fact, all the time. I'm receiving your calls at 9:34. For those who have joined me for the first time, Straight Talk comes to you every Monday and Thursday from 8 to 10 in the PM. We usually present what I call a thesis, and my thesis for tonight I've titled 1 multiplied by 2 equals 1. And yes, we can even look at it. Yes, 1 multiplied by 2, a federation of 2 islands and 1 lovely paradise. And my Straight Talk family, it is very interesting that someone has raised that issue about team unity, and it was interesting to hear Brantley when he said this, my Straight Talk family.
People say I brought down team unity. CCM didn't have the capacity to bring down team unity because team unity had 9 seats. You only need 6 to form a government. PLP had 2 and PAM had 4. So CCM could have left team unity and team unity would still have survived. The truth is, as Sean Richards has made clear, that he is the one who made that call because, truth be told, only PAM could have brought team unity down. And he made that call, and when he spoke to me, I said, I agree with you.
Yes, only PAM could have brought team unity down, and Sean did just that. But the snake, Brantley, supported it. That's something new. I've heard him mention that before. Never did. Very interesting how St. Kitts turns, my Straight Talk family. Dear Patches, reads this other email. I read the laughable press release from the president of the Bar Association, and like many others, I was disgusted. The sheer hypocrisy and arrogance dripping from that statement deserved nothing but public condemnation. The president dares to speak about integrity in the Bar Association. Who does she think she's fooling? The bar has nothing more than a protector of the privilege, a puppet of political interests, and a disgrace to the legal profession. When corruption and injustice are rampant, they remain silent. When judicial overreach threatens fairness, they look the other way. Now suddenly, she wants to lecture the public about integrity. Spare us the insult. Where was the Bar Association when the Attorney General Garth Wilkin was considered by the High Court to have broken the law by failing to pay Social Security for his nanny? Silence, not a damn word, no statement, no condemnation. But now, when it suits them, they want to pretend they stand for justice. The public isn't blind. The bar has no credibility left, beg your pardon, and its leadership is a stain on the profession. Patches, hear this out. The people need to hear the truth about these frauds who masquerade as defenders of justice. Enough is enough, reads this email. And you can add to that, the Attorney General is in the house. He's not honorable, should not be in that house. Mr. Liburd, don't have or hold any animosity against Antiguans and Barbudans. But I have an observation where some people emanating from Antigua to St. Kitts and talking down to us as we are dogs, especially DPP Adlai Smith and Dr. Jew Presswoman Ebony. Let them know that we will not tolerate their disrespect for nothing good. Otherwise, we will respond in kind with this other email. Dear Mr. Liburd, I hope that this message finds you well. I wish to draw your attention to the ongoing road work on the island's main road at the beginning of Birchilds. This project has been in progress for approximately 2 weeks and remains incomplete. There has been several instances where workmen are not present at the site. As a consequence, traffic has become significantly congested in both directions. I perceive this situation as a considerable traffic hazard, particularly in the event that an emergency vehicle must navigate through the area to respond to potential accidents. I would like to inquire how emergency vehicles are expected to maneuver through the congestion swiftly in such circumstances, reads this other email. This email reads, Good evening, Mr. Liburd. Would the people of Nevis welcome a bridge across the Narrows? Statistically, St. Kitts accounts for a disproportionate share of the crime that is being committed in the Federation, as well as the high rate of motor vehicle accidents or fatalities. I think this may be a one-sided issue. Having personally traveled to Nevis by way of St. Kitts, and having flown directly to Nevis, I can say that I would rather fly directly to Nevis, as it takes time off of an already long and exhausting travel day. Respectfully, no dog in this fight. Well, we are all entitled to our views, so we accept your views. It's 20 before the 10 o'clock hour, my Straight Talk family. But my lines have gone a little quiet. I wonder why. It's because I was reading the mails. I hope is that they're not malfunctioning. But if you have joined me late, my Straight Talk family, we looked at our thesis for tonight, and we, in fact, which we titled, I should say, 1 multiplied by 2 equals 1. And I made the point, and I've always hastened to add, that mathematics is my strongest weak point. I also made the point earlier that mathematician Benjamin Peirce called mathematics the science that draws necessary conclusions. The famous physicist Albert Einstein, on the other hand, stated that as far as the laws of mathematics refer to reality, they are not certain, and as far as they are certain, they do not refer to reality. So, I see again, 1 multiplied by 2 equals 1. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, thank you for holding your live. Hello, caller.
Patches, good night again. My lord.
Yeah, good night.
Yes, I am here. Are you hearing me?
Yes, you're
testing,
live.
testing.
Yes, you're live, so.
Okay. I am drawing to the attention of the Obadiah Primary School in Molyneux. And is there any action has been taken on that? Knowing these were projects in the pipeline, or it stands still? I'm not there, so all I can do is ask.
That's a very interesting question. That's a very interesting question. Sorry to interrupt you, because just today I was speaking about it. You know, the bids went out for that construction, or reconstruction, or rehabilitation, whatever it's called, of that school. And I understand that the bids were open, and somehow the slow student came with some proposal to split the bid, you know, and I found it very strange. I don't know why this contractor or contractors didn't take that matter to the court. They must take these matters to court, you know, let the court decide on these things. But in a nutshell, nothing is going on over there.
Well, should that be, if that was something that should be taken to the court, you know the people of St. Kitts and that experience to make that call. They are not knowledgeable for such things.
I don't think
so. They go with the flow.
No, the people are just afraid. You know, people are just afraid to challenge.
That's what I'm talking.
They know about it.
That's what I'm talking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. They're not willing to stand up, or they don't know the way to stand up. They depend on others, and those who they are will depend on. They already count they're fighting a losing battle, so they stand. But my aim, I'm a Molyneux man. My aim is to get that project going, and it's far too long. Time is due, and it is a very important project because the children are schoolless in their own community. And I will say, once again, should I be given a chance, as a minister, I'm not even a prime minister, I will go across the boundaries to help my brother or sister constituency leader. So, it might be a good standstill, but it's a bittersweet. I need that project to be started, and once it starts, it shall finish. Okay. Thank you for the time again.
Thank you.
In acts to make that awareness, and to those who are listening, I have done the conveyance.
Okay.
Thank you again. Bye for now.
Thank you very
much. Be strong.
Strong as well. At 16 before 10, we go straight back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yeah, greetings, brother Patches.
Greetings, my brother. How about thou?
I'm good now. I'm good. You know, Granny said we should love one another and respect one another. Yep. So basically what you're saying, you want St. Kitts and Nevis to get a closer union then?
Yeah, we need to have what I call a physical permanence, you know?
Physical permanence.
Yep.
Get rid of. So, but
sorry to interrupt you. Haven't you gone to the extent to suggest that we just get rid of this 113 clause? We're not going any place. We won.
I don't have a problem with that. But what about the unification of Africans in the Western world?
Well, that will be what I call a Himalayan task.
It is a Himalayan task, but that's what we should be striving for, because you see the spectacle that took place between Trump and Zelensky.
Your friend.
You understand? That's what I'm saying. I mean, we here talking and I wish you were going on the world stage. You understand?
Yeah.
You see, because a lot of our people think them things only happen between us. But the difference between Trump, right, and Biden will do it behind closed doors. But Trump bring it to the public. You see? And what I'm trying to show you now, all they're gonna do is get rid of Zelensky and put in somebody who ain't gonna disrespect them that way as Trump and the vice president say. That's what I'm telling you, that we got to unite. The people have to unite. Because we see what is happening. You know? We see what is happening on the world stage. And then locally here, we're still bickering amongst each other. You know? We got to get our house in order. Let me ask you a question. You think that black African Americans in the United States should have their own independence?
How is that possible?
What do you mean, how is this possible?
Well, I mean, okay, you can have independence. You have to do things for yourself.
Exactly. So what I'm saying, because remember, that land is stolen from the indigenous people and they wipe them out. Just like when we got independence from England, Africans in America need independence from America. That is the solution to the pollution. You see? And what I'm saying to you, you ever heard that proposal before?
No, I don't recall.
Okay. But ever since we were brought to the Western world, black people in the United States, there was three lines of struggle. Those who wanted independence from America, those who wanted to go back to Africa, and those who wanted to integrate. But we never heard about the others. We only heard about the one that wanted to integrate. Do you believe that Taiwan should be restored to China?
Well, that's for the Taiwanese people and the Chinese.
No. Okay, but here, no. Remember, there was one country now.
I know, but I'm responding to your question.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you, why does you want to secede from China, but you want Vienna and Nevis to stay together?
Well,
you see what I'm saying?
You're playing footsie.
Okay, good. Okay, but what is the historical ties between China and Taiwan? The historical ties is, remember now, when Japan invaded China, both Mao Zedong and Chiang Kai-shek fought the Japanese together. You know? It was one country. They joined together to fight the Japanese. When the war was over, then a civil war broke up between Chiang Kai-shek and Mao, right? And then what happened after Chiang Kai-shek lose the war? He went to Taiwan, and then the United States back him. It's one country. You see, that's what I'm saying. We got to understand the history. They speak the same language. You see? So, what I'm saying to you, we people got to understand these things. I don't see why Taiwan want to separate from China. It's one people and one country. It's historically, that is it. You know? I mean, you see, that's what I'm saying. We got to understand what is happening geopolitically. Now, look here now. You know, Trump is selling passport now to Russians. We can't sell passport to Russians. You know how much the passport cost? $5 million US. He's also selling passports to Portugal, Spain, the UAE, Canada, UK, Greece, and Singapore. He called it the golden visa. It's to boost tourism and economic growth. You see? But we can't sell passport to Russians. That's what I'm saying to our people. Based on what is happening geopolitically, our people have to unite. That's the only solution. You understand? Because once they keep us apart, it benefits them. You know, so I'm saying to our people, we got to get our house in order. And all the schism and ism that we have amongst us, we have to settle them. And there's ways of doing it. You understand? Now we're talking about between Singlet and Nevis, right? You know, back in 1882, right? The white people in Nevis wanted secession from the white people in Singlet because we wasn't in charge. The whole secession issue come from the colonizer. And then we continue the bickering because we still colonized. So I raise all these issues to show you, brother, what is happening. Right? Look at Zelensky. You know, Zelensky was giving information, you understand, to the terrorists them in the Sahel states to kill black people in Burkina Faso and Niger and Mali. They had to kick out the embassy in the Sahel states. Ukraine was doing that. You see the connection? Now, let me say this, and I'm gone. This is the 129th anniversary of the Battle of Ottawa. You ever heard of the Battle of Ottawa?
Yes, bigly, yes, did.
Okay. That's when Italy invaded Ethiopia. 1896 is when we had the buckles of, the Portuguese are rising here. You see how our struggle is tied to one another? Italy invaded Ethiopia in 1890, 1st of March. This is the 129th anniversary. And in February, you understand, we had the Portuguese uprising right here. Okay. In 1896. So I point out these things to show our people, our struggle is one and the same. Because the colonizer, everywhere he go, you understand, is to destroy, exterminate, you understand, and oppress people of color or black people in particular. So I'm saying that that's why we have to unite, but because we struggle is linked all over the world.
Yeah, well, thanks,
people,
man.
Okay, blessed Lord. Give thanks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Always take us on that historical ride, you know, and do extend gratitude for that. And as you mentioned, Taiwan, because Taiwan, officially known as the Republic of China, was a charter member of the United Nations until 1971, I think it was. The Republic of China joined the United Nations as a founding member and was one of the 5 members of the Security Council until the People's Republic of China took that seat in 1971. And there's a resolution at the UN resolution, I'm trying to remember the number, but there is a resolution there to accept the People's Republic of China to the United Nations, and there's always been an issue as it relates to Taiwan and its access to the UN. But my Straight Talk family, as we wind down tonight's programming, it's 5 minutes before the 10 o'clock hour. I'll take a few more calls, but I looked at the thesis tonight. 1 multiplied by 2 equals 1. And I also made the point that, yes, mathematics, it's, as I mentioned earlier, it's a science. But to many of us who have had the encounter in our early days going to school, we remember algebra and geometry, you know, and remember the difficulty we face with this complex subject to some of us. But it's a statement many pundits have convinced us over the centuries that the values of two mathematical expressions are equal. But is that really true? Is a question I continue to ask myself, I stated. Thus you'll understand the reason why I have always confessed that mathematics is my strongest weak point. Let me see if I can. Okay, I don't have any more. Yes, my strongest weak point, my straight dog family. And I made mention of the mathematicians like Benjamin Pierce. But I also made mention that politics is a science as well. But sometimes the numbers just may not seem to add up. Because while political science employs scientific methods, politics itself often involves subjective elements such as values, emotions, and human motivations. My Shaitan family, when we listen to Brantley, I made mention earlier, what motivates this man and what influences his snake-like behavior? His blatant dishonesty baffles most. Like he mentioned about funds received from friendly governments, for example. He made mention, my straight dog family, about this. I introduced you to this earlier, my straight dog family, about funds received. He also made mention about the fair share report. And we asked ourselves why it took so long to get this report. And why hasn't July shared it? Brantley said he has not seen it.
So, the issue of fair share, where we know the Prime Minister of the day has said that he has asked for assistance from the international community. He has said he has done that because, unlike Team Unity and the Charleston Accord, where we only looked at CBI, he's saying he wants to look at CBI and other taxes and non-tax revenue. So he wants a more comprehensive analysis. The last time I met with him, which was about 3 weeks ago, he indicated to me that the report had been obtained, and I think he has since said so publicly, and that he was asking his Ministry of Finance and his technocrats to do an analysis on that report. I have not seen the report as yet. I have said to him that I need a copy of the report so that my team in Nevis can also do their analysis to determine what it is that this World Bank report says. But as I stand here today, I have not yet seen a copy of the report that the Prime Minister, that is Prime Minister Drew, says is available.
And my straight dog family, it baffles me really all the time, because when you look at the estimates in terms of revenue, you will find tax revenue and non-tax revenue. And obviously, the Constitution speaks to tax revenue. But in 1883, we never had these quote-unquote non-tax revenue like the foreign direct investment like this CBI. Or yes, we had a CBI back then, but it was done in a different format, and it was this real estate option, and they paid those taxes, I think, stand to be corrected. But the fact is, nonetheless, that's beside the point, what I was just saying. The fact is, non-tax and tax revenue are just economic classifications. Tax is tax. And the Constitution speaks to revenue sharing. So Drew obviously knows what he's about. And mark you, Drew is having some challenges since he mashed up the CBI. And he has cut his nose and spoiled his face. Because he has taken out all sorts of things he has done. He has taken a hit, the CBI revenue. Now, Mark is so disingenuous, my Straight Dog family, when he speaks about the Taiwanese funds. He met with the Taiwanese. He didn't refer to the Taiwanese funds, but he said friendly governments. The only friendly government we get grants from is the Republic of China and Taiwan. $3 million per annum. How the hell Mark didn't know that? God knows. But the Prime Minister, because of his ignorance, inexperience, he scored an own goal. I said, let's just confirm, he scored an own goal when he called Mark.
What I found was interesting is that Prime Minister signed it, called me when he got into government, and he said, Premier,
beg your pardon, dear, my Straight Dog family. I was trying to run this soundbite.
now we talk. Premier, you...
Okay, my Straight Dog, but as we wind down, my Straight Dog family, I was saying that Terrence just scored an own goal. He either didn't consult his financial secretary, or he misunderstood or misinterpreted information that was provided to him. My Straight Dog family, the snake, Bantido, is transactional. So he spoke about context and politics, my Straight Dog family.
that the context and the politics is important. So what I have decided to do, and what I've been doing with the Prime Minister, Joe, is seeking to develop a relationship between St. Kitts and Nevis, between Premier and Prime Minister, and to say there are certain things that need to happen, and that the people of Nevis need to benefit. Yes, from CBI, yes, from geothermal exploration, yes, from ensuring that Nevis gets the taxes that are generated by economic activity in Nevis. And I have pressed on those.
And yes, my Straight Dog family, as leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition and Premier of Nevis, the snake has entered into a unique coalition with the Prime Minister of St. Kitts Nevis, and for Mark, surely, 1 multiplied by 2 equals 1. He has taken Nevis to the brink of bankruptcy with a public debt heading hard towards $1 billion. He don't pay the Social Security, hasn't paid the rent for the building, Social Security building that he occupies. My Straight Dog family. This message reads, Patches, for the last time, tell Mr. Welcome we elect representatives and not ministers. Reads this email. And as we wrap, my Straight Dog family, as we wrap tonight's programming, we did not look at the political perspective to my thesis tonight. And I spent much time as well on the bridging of the islands. I want to make that point. But as that caller very early that provides our quotations advance this one tonight. The first rule in government spending is why build one when two can be built at twice the price? Very interesting perspective. We spoke as well, my Straight Dog family, about the lofty goals of the West Indies Federation, which were unrealized as it collapsed in 1962 due to internal divisions, economic disparities, and a lack of political will, my Straight Dog family. This equation 1 or 10 minus 1 equals 0 was symbolized the disintegration of the Union once Jamaica, one of the key member states, opted to withdraw from the Federation. Excuse me. And Williams' proposition captured the idea that removing a significant member from a federation would destabilize the entire political project, leading to its collapse. And that was 63 years ago, like I said. But since 1983, now 42 years later in 2025, a political union still exists between St. Kitts and Nevis. And in the context of Williams's mathematical equation, I submitted that 1 multiplied by 2 equals 1. And the proof is, however, borne out physically in our federation of 2 islands and 1 beautiful paradise, my Straight Dog family. So, when applied to the realm of politics, these same mathematical concepts seem to break down or take unexpected meanings. However, my thesis tonight suggests that the union between the islands of St. Kitts and Nevis, which was formed in 1983, offers an intriguing alternative. It offers a political equation where 1 multiplied by 2 equals 1. And that's my story tonight, my Straight Dog family, and I am not going to change it. I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, as always. I want to thank you, the callers. I want to thank you, the emailers. And I want to reassure you that those of you who just viewed, listened, remember all of you, the listeners, the viewers, the callers, the emailers, all of you are the ones who make Straight Talk. And for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. I am Ian Patches Liburd. And God's Spirit, we will connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk. Until that time, be good for yourselves and to all whom you meet. And remember that whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But all you got to do is believe. And I thought this belatedly, my Straight Talk family, someone who has strongly agreed with the proposition made tonight for the bridge between St. Kitts and Nevis. And this message states it can be carried further, where a strip of land should also be recovered on both sides of the road between St. Kitts and Nevis, And this real estate then be used for special tourism development of the highest class. Just having a bridge, beg your pardon, would not be good enough. That's their suggestion. But my Straight Talk family, thanks for those who participated, and be good to yourselves. And again, whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light and thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday.
The morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food